All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Misguided Podcast, where we're here to guide you to a better future. My name is Michael Johnson. I'm here with my co-host, Juwan Rohan, and we have a special guest today. Juwan, I'll go ahead and let you introduce the guest.
Yeah, so we'll be interviewing Keita Williams from Success Bully. She's going to talk about her journey and kind of the things she's been going through as a personal coach. So we're going to go ahead and invite her in. Let's talk to her. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, wow. Yours is very clear. I can hear you very well.
Oh, I have the high performance gaming headphones.
Oh,
We've done enough of these Zoom calls where let's block out the ambient noise. And these screens behind me are noise canceling panel.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
So they're soundproof. So that kind of helps.
Yeah, I could tell.
Roll them in and out.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's funny.
That's dope.
I'm trying. So this is our first time using Zoom. So
yeah, it's my first Zoom call.
Yeah, excuse us.
I didn't know it was your first time too, Juwan. I didn't know that. But yeah,
I've used it for like poker, but I've never used it to interview someone. So I just redid my studio. So now
the studio looks nice, dude.
Thank you. I'm trying to get like everything together. Do you know how to like share the screen where everyone could be like on the same one? I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know.
I think.
Oh, there we go.
You can click on speaker
I got it.
view, right?
I got it.
You got it?
Yep. Look at that.
Oh, well, congratulations on your first Zoom. Glad I could.
Thank you. You're the first one. We're
this might be the wave of the future.
Hey, we're about to make it really.
Yeah,
you might change the whole game with this one.
Very true.
What does your mug say?
It says wifey actually.
Hello,
Yeah, it says wifey.
Get into it.
But anyways, thank you so much for joining the Misguided Podcast. Super funny how I actually found you on the Carla Marie.
On the Side Hustler?
Yep. I listened to that stuff. So how'd you get the opportunity?
Well, we're all here in Seattle, and so one of my clients referred me to her, made an introduction, and I was on the show once before, and I actually went to the studio, and we had like a sit down conversation, and then we had the follow up. Was that a few weeks ago? I don't know. It's all one day right now, so
yeah.
I don't know.
It's all 2020 is one long way.
One long day, week situation.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. So yeah, I mean that's great. You can let our audience know what exactly you do, and then we'll kind of go into your story and how you got to where you are, and the struggles and stuff. So like on this podcast, we really like to highlight our success, but also our failures and mistakes.
I'll tell you the real
we can educate.
The real. It's not as sexy as it looks. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, right?
It never is. But yeah, go ahead.
So I'm Keita Williams. I am the founder and chief strategist of Success Bully. And Success Bully is an elite accountability practice. So essentially I have a coaching practice, and we lovingly call ourselves professional butt kickers. So we focus on goal setting and accountability. I've been in business about 3.5 years. I initially said it as a joke. And so I had no, I always thought I'd be an entrepreneur. I just didn't know doing what. And I had always had like these like random little side hustles and just, and this was one of those things where it's like lightning in a bottle, where I said it immediately resonated with people. I immediately was plugged into, I actually made the joke at the F-Bomb Breakfast Club, which is a breakfast club for female founders here in Seattle. We meet the first fucking Friday. Can I curse? I didn't care.
Yeah.
The first fucking Friday of the month. And we all get together and we talk about being entrepreneurs. So I wasn't an entrepreneur at the time, but I was plugged into an entrepreneurial community. Uh-huh. And so suddenly I had all these women in my circle who had done it and had the resources. And I wouldn't say resources in terms of access to capital, but more so you know, that first year in business is a lot of crying. At least from my perspective, it was a lot of crying.
Yeah.
Year one was a lot of crying. Year two was less crying. Year three, I was like, yeah, I got this. And then Corona happened, and then we went back to crying. So, you know, like just understanding the roller coaster, like your friends with jobs don't necessarily understand the high low of entrepreneurship. And so, yeah, what I thought it was going to be, I thought it was going to be this cute little thing, and I would help a few people. I was going to keep my corporate job in public relations, and it was just going to be something cute to do. And when I got tired of it, I got tired of it, you know? And that cute thing turned into like a whole, like, I might as well have branded it in pink. I thought it was going to be so cute, you know? And it's turned into like this thriving coaching practice where I have one-on-one clients, I have group coachings, and then we've been doing all this corporate work because who knew there's a corporate application to goal setting and accountability. And so, yeah, in 2019, I eclipsed my corporate salary. And so I decided that it was time. Like, it was actually working plus trying to build was actually slowing down the progress of the business. And so, yeah, so I've been full-time in the business for almost a year now. And yeah, so that it's been a magical journey. Yeah, not always sexy, awesome. But it's definitely been a magical journey. So.
When did you originally start? You said you've been full-time for a year. How many years?
So I started the business in 2017, and I went full-time last year.
Okay. That's well. Congrats going full-time. How hard was it to quit your corporate job?
It was like, it comes down to that fear factor.
Yep.
You know, where
bittersweet,
like,
almost.
The bittersweet, where you're like, you're programmed to get paid every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And like, now, you know, I got to set up so I get paid every 2 weeks. You know, like all the fears that I had was like, oh my God, what am I going to do about health insurance? You buy it. You know, it's like, it was all of the fear around, well, I don't know. You know, well, what if our clients don't pay on time? Yeah, all of that stuff happens. And you try to prepare as best as possible. But like, I tell you the truth, there was no way as an entrepreneur I could have prepared for a pandemic followed by civil unrest. I could not have prepared for that.
I don't think anybody could have prepared for it, honestly.
Well, you know, I'm like, okay, so next pandemic, I must own a big old home so I can feel like I went somewhere. You know, like there's some different life goals I have. But yeah, so I think that it has been such a gift for me to like kind of take something from an idea to execution. And I feel like I've done that in the corporate space within their guardrails, but then to find something I'm really passionate about, finally figured out what I want to be when I grow up and execute on it. And there's like real money to make in it and we could totally scale it. It's been quite the gift.
That's super cool. What was your corporate job?
I was in tech public relations.
Oh, okay, so you just totally took the other way, huh?
Yeah, totally. Well, what's really interesting is the stuff that I do really well in my business was stuff that I perfected in corporate.
Okay.
And so I think that, you know, for my side hustlers out there, I'm going to say this, and I don't want you to misinterpret it, but like steal what you can from work in terms of learning skill sets, right? And like learn all you can, because that's the stuff that'll save you money as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So like I am, as a public relations professional, I was always a person running the messaging. I was always a person running the campaign execution and the work back plans and keeping the whole team on track. That's essentially what my business does. And then from a media training perspective, like I can sit down and do an interview, no problem, because I know how to hit my message points, right? I also have my own content that I'm churning out that is easier for me to do because I did it all day in work, right? So and so I think that there's something to be said about learning in the safe space of somebody else's dime, so you make the mistakes on their budget versus making the mistakes on your budget, right?
That's facts.
I think that's a great point. I always try to encourage people to take as much as you can. If you are going to work a corporate job first, take as much as you can, learning from the big company that you're working at. Before you go ahead and leave, because I mean, a lot of times, you know, as entrepreneurs, like, you know, me, I know I was in a rush to get out, but like, you know, staying those extra couple years in the corporate world that I did, I definitely learned a lot from working, especially, you know, doing business development that I'm able to apply to my business now.
So, absolutely. And that's the part that I think most entrepreneurs falter on, is the business development part.
Yeah.
Right, because like just because you're good at whatever your business does, you still
You
got
need
to
a
sell the
structure.
thing.
Yeah,
You got to
you-
sell the thing,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah. That's
Whether
very
you're
true.
making earrings, shea butter, if you have if you're a consultant, whatever it is you do, if you don't sell the thing, you don't make any money.
Exactly. It doesn't matter how good the product is. If you can't sell it, you can't get it out there, then
You
nobody's
can't
gonna
get
know
it
about
out there. And
So
so like, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say it's kind of funny because me and him both worked for Coca-Cola as sales rep. I still work, but he's full-time entrepreneur now.
Get into
So
it. Congrats.
he was
Thank you,
actually
thank you.
into he was actually into business development. And the crazy thing I learned working for Coca-Cola is that how many things go into the process of just making a Coca-Cola bottle and then selling it, putting it on the shelf, getting it in front of the eyes of the customer. So I actually learned a lot of marketing tips from them as well. Like I studied psychology in college, so I had no idea how to run a business. I had no idea how to run the numbers. I had no idea on like how to present it to people. And that like Coca-Cola has really taught me like all those little strategies, like being a sales rep for Coca-Cola and being in the store every day. It's like you really learn a lot, like hands-on. And I take that stuff into like whatever we do, you know, when I'm going to talk to people, I try to negotiate the best deal, you know, that's stuff they don't teach you in school, you know.
No.
I think that's super important that you brought up that, you know, that's really good. So yeah.
So and I think that that's one of the things that like I will never tell you to just quit and start a business. I will never give that advice to anyone. I think that while you may have a really great idea, you may have a really great passion, even if you have like an MBA, running a business, some of it is trial and error, right? And there are some things that you learn or like you get a lot of advice on what you should be doing versus what actually works. So, you know, you get all this like, build your social media. No, actually, why don't you go get some clients first?
Right.
Like your Instagram numbers are vanity. How like I don't want to look sexy on the internet. I want to look sexy on a P&L. I do not want to like, you know what I mean? Like
exactly. So, where's your profit and loss at?
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, that's cool.
That's some good advice.
So kind of walk us through the process of how you get a client and exactly what the client comes in asking from you.
Well, like I like to work with high performing type A women. And we kind of think of them as in two areas. So like we work with some entrepreneurs, so we have separate programming for them. And then we have our folks that are, I like to call it the velvet rut.
Okay.
Where like you're accomplished, you have all your degrees, you are in your career, you're probably at director level, and now you're asking yourself what's next. And so we specialize in helping you activate on that passion project. So whether that is starting your own business or if it is, you know, I have one of my clients is actually writing her first book and she just can't stick to it. So like we've broken out what her plan looks like to get her outline together. And so we work in 90-day increments because it takes 33 to 66 days to develop a new habit and 90 days before you see results. So whatever you're working on right now, you will not see the fruits of that for 90 days. And if you're an entrepreneur, you are 90 days ahead of your business, right? Your business, it'll catch up in 90 days. And so like sticking it out to see the results, most people quit too soon. So like we have a methodology where we can break the goal down into actual plans, and we have like step by step what you're going to do, and then you have accountability check-ins. When we run groups, we've built these custom trackers where we can track your progress. We have a rate card so we can see the progress of the group. So if you're not showing up, you actually bring down the scores of the entire group.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of social pressure there. So it's like a thing. So like I don't get into the squishy bits of coaching in terms of like, I don't do desire maps. If you don't know what you want, I'm not the coach for you, right? I refer that out. If you're trying to do some discovery and all of that stuff, I am not a life coach. If you got a goal and you want to execute and you're comfortable with a little bit of tough love, I'm the coach for you, right? And so that's how we kind of build things out.
That's cool. That's cool.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm glad you guys have some science behind, you know, the habits and, you know, that you have a 90-day, that you work in 90-day increments. I think that's really cool. Also, like having that niche, like knowing, you know, where you guys are, you know, you're focused. Like you said, you know, I'm working with people who have a goal, not people who are kind of, you know, or kind of lost. Like you're there to help people who have a goal and keep them on track. So I really yeah.
And so I think that, and that's really interesting. Being in a place where you can have those uncomfortable conversations, like as you're not the right client for me. We're not the right fit. I want you to be successful.
Do you say that often?
We have well, I think that, 3.5 years in, our branding is pretty tight. Like if you, we started running personality tests in the last year on our clients.
Oh, shit.
And they all score high as high achievers. So like as a personality trait, it's high achievers. So I think the marketing is working. So we have we have fewer people kind of coming into our funnel and booking calls, coaching calls or consultation calls with me who are not our ideal client.
That's super cool. Wow. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
We're getting better about niching it down. And the interesting thing is, with the way that I used to get, I'm gonna tell you how I used to get clients, and then I'm gonna tell you what's going on now.
All right.
I'm gonna tell you what's going on. Because we had to pivot. We are in a digital transformation post-COVID, or we're still in COVID. So the way I used to get clients, right? Coaching is a very personal decision, right? In the sense of it's not cheap, so it is an investment. Coaching is always going to be an investment, and you have to have a relationship with your coach where you trust them. And so I found the shortest distance. I want everybody to lean in on this one because I have a hand gesture. The shortest distance between me and the cash was getting in front of people, right?
Right.
And so we did that through speaking engagements.
Okay.
And so like whether I did a corporate workshop or I would partner with an organization that catered to my ideal client. So like going to women in engineering, speaking for a group like that, there's a whole room full of women that would be my ideal client, right? And they have an experience with me, they have a rapport with me, and it's easier to walk them down the pathway to sale, right? And so that's what we did pre-COVID. So, and I'm a shiny speaker, so I also get paid twice. I get paid multiple times, I get paid to show up, and then I get paid by the audience, right? Okay, so first week of March, we lost 40% of the revenue because all of our speaking engagements canceled through September.
Gotcha.
Right? And so now we're kind of in this transformation of, okay, how do we give our potential clients that same experience of having a personal rapport with me so that they trust me enough to invest in their coaching, right? And so like now we're focused on building community. So like building community, primarily on Facebook right now. So we have 5 days of focus coming up. So we actually have a free sprint that starts August 3rd, where you can join my Facebook group, be part of the process so you can experience how I coach. And then we walk you through the process on whether or not you want to continue a program with us. Right.
Yeah. It's like so I get it.
Yeah, so
it's like the little 7 days free type thing they always.
Yeah, but it's a whole I'm not used to doing it that way. I'm used to putting on my cute outfits and showing up looking better than my headshot. And so it's a whole so yes, I have soundproof panels behind me. Now I got a light ring. I had to upgrade my computer. I had to upgrade all these things. And the truth of it is, I think that this forced my hand because now we can think about scale, right? Yeah. Because I don't have to be in so many different places. I'm not getting on and off planes. I am centrally located. We can hire more coaches underneath me, so there's more than one success bully. So we can actually scale this way versus me doing hand-to-hand combat. Go and meet each individual person in person, right? Yeah. So
that's cool. Well, I was gonna say this actually could be helpful and help your revenue after COVID, because now you can still do this and you can still do the speaking engagements. You could fly to wherever, do a speaking engagement, go to the hotel and pull your camera up and do this. And now you just doubled your revenue.
Or not.
You choose.
But I can choose.
That's the beauty. That's the beauty though. You know what I mean? So it's just it's amazing that COVID shut down so many opportunities, but then also opened up so many opportunities.
Oh yeah.
I would never be doing this right here.
Oh no. It'd be like, meet me in the studio.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that that first week I was like, I quit. I don't know what we're gonna do. I quit. And then I am so grateful that I have it's not just me. I have a team of 4. And so it's a whole group of folks that make this possible. So I'm no longer the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. I think I'm the butcher and the baker. I still got a couple things that I still got to take care of, but like I'm building a team around it. And so as a team, we rallied like, okay, speaking engagements are DOA. So let's think about this creatively. And we had a few brainstorms, and then we got into motion, and we actually launched a group coaching like 3 weeks after we launched a beta test of like, okay, if we overhaul the program, the coaching programs to take into account what people are really experiencing right now, what does that look like? And it like to get in motion like that was, we didn't, I think the really cool opportunities that we have bubbling up right now are based on the fact that we did not take a break. We pivoted and we got into motion.
Yep. That's really cool. I did have a question. How did you find your team? You said you had 4 other team members.
Oh my goodness. How did I find my team? Oh, it's my network, so, my assistant, and we're changing her role here in a few months. We're part of a mastermind group, and she was starting a VA business, or kind of had one. And I was like, hey, well, I need someone. My VA moved, and we've been working together like 2 years. I found my social media manager. We used to work in corporate together, and she was kind of building her experiences around social media. So she's our social media manager. And then my new person was my friend's assistant, and so now she's our social media concierge. And then we have a couple interns that kind of cycle in and out just based on and like one intern is like my niece, so like I
bring the family in.
Bring the family in, like generational wealth, people. And so it's been like my network. I think it was when I made my first hire. And granted, like I have all of my people are side hustlers. So like I'm doing 1099 so we can run lean, so I don't have all the overhead of having full-time employees right now. But I think we'll get there. We'll probably get there before the end of the year. But the first hire was so scary. It was so scary because it was like, now I got to pay this other person.
Now you got someone else is relying on me.
Now they're like, I don't know. Like there was this hesitation around it. But I would tell any side hustler that is ready to listen, a VA will always pay for themselves. Because that frees you up to do the money making stuff.
For sure.
Yeah.
Right. So you make more money when you're not caught in the weeds with the admin. Right.
Yeah.
And then as I've built the team, we had a team meeting where I was like, all right, y'all, I got a big game hunt. So allow me to be the CEO. Like I can't get down in the details right now. There are some big projects coming our way, and I need to turn around these proposals. I need to do this. I need to do that. So like I need to up level a little bit, and I need your support to do that.
Yes.
Like you all are smart and capable and wonderful and magical. So I need your help to do what you do really well, so I can do this stuff really well.
Yep. No, that's true. I think like building a team and having a team or having that, back support is really like crucial to your success. So like, can you kind of go into detail of how it's kind of boosted, I guess, your revenue, whatever you measure your growth by? It doesn't have to always be about money, but your clients.
Well, it's definitely revenue. Well, I think, there's the revenue piece, but also there is I think when you have a team, people take you a hell of a lot more seriously.
Yeah.
Right.
When I say I'm looping in Monica to manage to do the calendar part of it, people take it a lot more seriously than when they have.
I did. When you looped me in, I was like, oh, hold on, wait a minute.
And then I ain't even part of the conversation. I don't know when it's booked.
Oh man, I was like, I need one of those. Like, hey Mike, we need to get someone to handle our emails, bro. Like that shit was hella professional. I was like, hold on, like,
well, like there comes a point where like you have to be less accessible.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so like I can't do CEO stuff if I'm going back in 6 emails about when we gonna get together. I don't have time for that. I don't have the bandwidth for it. Right. That's a misuse of my resource of time.
True.
And so I think that, and when we would show up in person, and we're my whole team is people of color. When we show up,
we gonna get to that too.
Yeah. When I show up in person, and they're like, yeah, so Monica's a real person. This is Hanny. This is like it validates what we're building. So besides freeing up time and efficiencies and growing, because like my big vision, you know, I'm building a coaching brand. I'm building a coaching brand, and like think of it, when I think of what I would compare it to, I would think of it like the Tony Robbins model, where like you want to talk to Tony Robbins, he on an island somewhere, and that's a 7-figure investment.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so like how you scale is like the programming underneath it, having multiple people being able to do what you do. And so like a lot of the team right now is more like administrative, but I think we're expanding into other coaches. So like
that's cool.
So yeah, it gives you the opportunity to grow the actual business.
Yeah. And it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight.
Like, no, it doesn't happen
overnight.
Know
that. Yeah.
No,
sure.
Yeah, I think, yeah, like you said, like you mentioned, like how scary the first hire was, because I know, like personally, I know for a lot of entrepreneurs, it is scary thinking about, you know, building that team and knowing that, okay, now I have to worry about, you know, allocating a lot of my, you know, my income into paying an employee now. So that is kind of a jump for a lot of people, but yeah, like, so like you said, like it's been able to free up a lot of more time for you to do like more of the, you know, the actual like money making activities. So yeah, I'm glad you touched on that. And I've definitely struggled with that a little bit myself. And I'm, you know, just in the recent, like I said, in the last 6 months have kind of like went on that journey of, you know, hiring people to help, you know, manage my day in, day out. So I'm not, you know, just spread myself so thin.
Oh yeah. Cause like, I'm going to say some controversial stuff. Everybody lean in. The grind is overrated.
Right.
There is no reward for grinding yourself to the ground. There is no reward for burning yourself out, not sleeping, not eating right. You know, I think that we're conditioned, or what you hear from an entrepreneur standpoint is, you know, grind, go. No, rest. Get some rest. Like I hire some people, you know, or if anything, your first hire, get a VA for like 4 hours a week. Get the minimum and try to free up some of your time so you can take better care of yourself, but also do the money making things. So.
Or get your niece, you know, you could always.
Or even your niece. So like, I think that just freeing up your time so that you can be the best at what you do, it's critical. You know?
Yeah. Well, we read a lot of books. So like a lot of millionaires and billionaires, they always say, do what you're good at. You know? And if you're not good at it, go find someone who is and bring them along. Go find somebody.
And wait, not just somebody. It's wasted time. Not just somebody that's good at it. Somebody that it lights them up, that they enjoy doing the thing you hate doing. Right? So like, you don't want somebody that's good at it. You want somebody that is, you want somebody that's good at it, but that they enjoy it and they find excitement in it, because then you're going to get a better work product out of them.
That's
right?
True. It kind of reminds me of like the taxes, like when, you know, we all hate filling out taxes and answering those questions. And especially when we're not getting a big refund back from it, we're like, oh, what the fuck? I'm going to put whatever.
I got to write a check?
Yeah, right. I gotta write a check. Now it's like we're filling out, you know, big refunds, and we're like, okay, we gotta go hire someone. Like, this is just too much. Like, I think last year was my first time actually paying like thousands of dollars to someone to do my taxes.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so. And it took so much pressure off. And I was like, thank you so much for doing this work. She's like, oh, I love it. I love when people are happy. And I was like, I hate that shit. Like,
like this gives me a nosebleed. So thank you. Thank you for that.
For real. That's funny. But yeah, I just got a gift from Zoom. That's weird.
Okay. They're trying to force you to buy it.
No. They actually removed the 40-minute time limit. So now I can record it longer than 40 minutes.
Oh, thank you, Zoom. COVID.
Thank you. That wasn't, right? Thank you.
COVID. That was a COVID, because they would shut your whole meeting down before. And you were like, I wasn't done.
Speaking of COVID, so COVID hit us this year, but COVID wasn't the only thing. You know, we had kind of racism give us some gut shots throughout the year.
Right.
So right now, it's a crazy time. But have you participated in any of the protests? What are you doing out there for, you know, the culture?
Well, I think that my business has always been
for the culture.
for the culture in the sense of goal setting and accountability is real. And so like, I do some volunteer work. So I did a goal setting exercise with Year Up, which is a organization that supports young adults in underserved communities. So we know what that means, who are looking to transition into corporate work. And so they get all these internships. And so part of that was coming in and helping them goal set around their internships. Right.
Yeah.
We also, I am not a protester. So like my way of supporting is writing a check.
Okay. Yeah. We always talk about that. There's so many different ways. Write a check.
There's different. Well, like, I feel like there was, for a moment, I felt guilty that I wasn't on the ground. Well, like, we have a running joke about protect the CEO. So, like, I got my undies all in a bunch about something that happened with a flight. And I was like, your job is to protect the CEO. And so, like, that's the kind of thing where, like, I go somewhere and I get injured. It's not just me that's injured. It's my business that's injured because it's still too much of me involved in the business right now. And so like, I have to protect myself, but also protect my team. And so like, that has been a priority. And also just the kind of, was it last week I did a webinar for Sister Circle, which is the largest community of Black women in technology on Facebook. So like, there's been all these other ways that, like there's the ripple effect where you can impact that way. And that's how I've kind of thought about it, is impact, like, I think that I got a lot of inbounds from well-meaning white people who wanted my thoughts or wanted to be reassured that they weren't racist.
Yeah.
Then so we had that piece. And then we also had the piece of, hey, you're brown. You're a Black woman. You obviously do diversity, equity, and inclusion training. That's like, really? That's in your efforts to be anti-racist, you're quite racist.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so like, there's been that, I've been able to make some powerful connections. Like, okay, that's not the work I do, but here's someone that does. And so like, being able to hand those things off. And I think like my first like interview post civil unrest and George Floyd was actually on Carla Marie's Side Hustlers. And like, my thoughts on that was like, I gave a acronym. I was like, I'm going to say this one time, and anybody that asks me, I'm going to keep sending them this podcast on what they need to do. And that was the opt in. So own your own education. Put your money where your mouth is. So support Black owned businesses, or donate to organizations that further the cause. So whether that's BLM, NAACP, put your money where your mouth is, and then turn up to vote. Vote for candidates that support the world you want to see. And that's what I have to say about it. In the sense, like, I don't think that my ministry is not civil engagement. It like, I've never been an advocate that way. I've never organized things that way. I think that growing my business and being able to support organizations and support people financially is.
And as a Black woman, you're growing a Black business. So
Black owned business.
That right there says a whole lot. And yeah, I feel it for sure. You said most of your team is Black, right?
We're 60%. So we have, I can't do the math. So we have one non-Black person. And then we have one girl, I believe her family's from Palestine. So like, we're like a mix of folks. We're a diverse team, which is what most people.
I think Mike is frozen.
Oh no, we lost Mike.
That's the no Wi-Fi right there.
Connection keeps her.
But okay, yeah, so you guys are very mixed. Have you ever experienced any racism through emails before you had Monica handle your stuff, because your name is very different? So have you ever experienced anything like that,
Oh yeah, all the things. The things. I think that I'll be 41 in a couple weeks, and I don't
Wait, no way. Stop lying.
Yeah. I don't look a day over 27. What?
27. That's so random, though.
Right, but it's true. Like, I look at pictures of myself when I was 27, and I was like, ain't changed a bit.
You like, what the hell? Wow, black don't crack, man.
And I'll probably look like this another 20 years.
Yeah.
So Yeah, so I think that what I find really interesting is that when I started my corporate career, I would go home and cry about these things. Like, showing up into a meeting and somebody calling me girlfriend and doing a head bob, like that was like they were trying to relate to me. Or being the team lead and someone asking me if I'm the receptionist and could I go get them coffee. These are the things that
Yeah.
I would go home and cry about. I didn't have the language around what I was experiencing. I knew it was some form of racism, but I didn't know how to address it, or
Yeah, how to
or
deal.
you know, sitting in a performance review and I have an attitude problem. No, I'm a
Oh,
6 foot Black woman. That's
yeah.
that's your problem. That's not my
Yeah,
problem,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so like I think um now there's language around it, and now it is there's an awareness that racism isn't just what happened in Minneapolis. Racism is systemic. All of America, racism is as American as apple pie.
Yeah.
Like the country was built on it, and so it's going to take time to dismantle it, right?
Hmm.
And so I think that right now the way that I feel about it is like it is not my job to dismantle 400 plus years of systemic racism. It's my job to show up as the founder and chief strategist of Success Bully and grow my business so that I can support more people, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm called to do.
Yeah. Nah, that's facts. So Mike actually dropped off, but he's
Oh
still
no,
listening.
hi Mike.
He doesn't want to ruin the connection, but he's listening. He said.
Okay, cool.
Sorry about that. Hey,
No
first
worries.
time zooming right here. So
We're doing it. You're
we're
doing a great
doing it.
job.
Thank you, thank you. But yeah, I totally agree. I mean, me and Mike kind of feel the same. We, want to grow these Black businesses. And you talked about it earlier, but for generational wealth. Like I just had my first son. He's a year old. And like, it's crazy to start thinking like, I got to think for him first now. I have
Right.
to, like, I'm doing this so that he has something to, look up and give him options as opposed to, I want him to have choices instead of
Right.
chances. I always say that. Like, I don't want him to
Choices
be,
versus chances. That's a
yeah.
good quote there. Write
I
that
don't,
down. Somebody tweet that.
so someone put it under a caption. But yeah, like I don't want him to be like, well, I had the chance to go here. I want him to be like, well, I had the choices here, 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 and I
Right.
got to
I chose whatever college I wanted to go
yeah.
to.
Yeah, facts. And now it's crazy because like I never thought about this, but now I'm like really, I think I'm gonna push him to like go to a HBCU. Like that was never in my thought before. And now it's just like, dang, that would be super dope because I played college basketball. So I definitely want him to play college basketball. So like, that's just so cool. Like that, if you're really good in basketball and, everyone wants you, these big schools like Duke and like, Syracuse, they all want you. And you're like, nah, I'm gonna go to HBCU. Like
Right.
I'm gonna put the money into
Choices.
Black people. Yeah, choices. And so,
Choices.
like, I'm trying to preach that, and it's just crazy. Like now I gotta think about that.
Oh yeah. Well, like when I think about it, it's kind of that I cannot give my family a job. I can't leave them a job,
Yeah.
right? But I can leave them property.
You can
I
leave them
can
an
leave them
empire
trust funds,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I get like, I could, when we're going to restructure the business. And so my plan is that I would give shares to, I have 3 sisters. So I want to give shares to each one of my sisters, shares to my niece and nephew, and Monica, who's been so integral in what we've been building here, that like, that you own part of this. It's not just what I've built. It is, you're an owner too.
Yeah.
And so like, I hope that we can build it in such a way that all of that will be valuable.
No, that's
And
facts.
when I think about like, I'm not married, I don't have any kids. When I think of like why I want to build this, or like why I want to go so big with it, is that then I can give to the organizations that I'm passionate about. I can, I did my undergrad at Northwestern and I was on an academic scholarship. I want to be able to fund an academic scholarship at Northwestern. you know, and I want to be able to.
Oh, that name, like, oh, this scholarship is from Keita
The
Williams.
Keita Williams Scholarship Fund, right?
That's fire.
And I want to do the same thing for my high school, and I want to do the same thing for my grade school. And they probably all gonna write me letters because I said this, but you know, like, and you know, I want to really lock in on, like, I really want to support female founders, especially female founders of color, and that, like, we're less than 2% of VC funding go to women, and when you break that down by race, it's less than 1% go to Black women. So, like, I want to support from that way, or kind of help build an ecosystem around taking you from concept to cash flow. Ooh, that's a
bars. Okay.
What? My mixtape is coming out soon. No,
I'll write that down.
But like, and I think that that's the stuff that, you know, I am the first entrepreneur in my family. While I am not the first college graduate, you know, like, my grandparents got their college degrees in the 30s, you know, like, so I'm not the first to do that. I'm the first to not have a corporate job. Right. So there is not an entrepreneur in my family that I could go, hey, did you experience this? What about this? Or what about that? So, like, I want to.
You got YouTube. You got your YouTube.
YouTube, go to a couple meetings. And so, so I want to give that gift to my family, that, like, you know, we're brilliant, gifted individuals, you know, your future doesn't have to be built on building someone else's business, on supporting some corporate vision. You could build your own and build it in a way that, you know, like, I think that at the time when I transitioned out of my corporate career, the ceiling was so low for me. The ceiling was so low. There was no pathway to CEO. I had to create my own. And I think that, there are a lot of folks like me. And so, like, I want to help more people go, okay, it's possible. Here's some I already made the mistakes for you. You ain't got to make these mistakes. Here's some strategies. So.
How'd your family feel when you were like, all right, I'm leaving my corporate job to?
Oh, you know, there was, initially when I started the business, because, you know, it was a side hustle to start with, it was like, what are you doing? You know, it was a lot of the, what are you doing? You know, oh, there's Keita. There Keita go again.
There Keita
go again. There she go again. And then, you know, like, my older sister thinks it's funny, you know. But I think first it was, what are you doing? Then it was, how are you doing? And now it's, we're really proud of you. So it was like a progression. And I think that, you know, I want to encourage our entrepreneurs that, like, you know, sometimes the people closest to you are not going to understand your vision. And they just want you to be safe. They want to make sure you're okay, right? And when you jump out into the wild, wild west of entrepreneurship, it's not always safe. You know, there are lessons that you learn along the way. There are mistakes that you'll inevitably make. You know, we all mess up something. You know,
that's facts.
And, like, what I love about entrepreneurship is you make that mistake one time. You make it one time, you learn your lesson, and you move on. Where, like, my love life, I feel like I keep dating the same dude over and over again. But, like,
you ain't learned yet.
I ain't learned there. But
that's funny.
So yeah.
Nah, that's cool. It's funny because yesterday I was watching a show. Do you watch The Chi by any chance?
I don't have time for television.
Hey, that's like,
we're building an empire.
So I was watching,
like, I wish I could watch all these shows. But go on.
I feel it. I was watching The Chi yesterday, and one of the quotes in the movies was the older guy was talking to the younger guy, and he was like, how'd you become so wise or something? He's like, I just made a lot of mistakes, and that's how you become wise. And it's like, sucks. It's like, damn, that's how I become, like, smart, you know? Like,
you're like, I gotta fall on my face all the time.
Up, right?
Well, like, what's interesting, I was having a conversation last night about one of my friends has to make this transition because she's being laid off. And so, like, she's essentially having to start all over at 40. And which, you know, I think that's a blessing.
She's still young.
But I think that's a blessing because now you wise and you know what you want.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you don't have to figure so many things out. And it was the whole conversation around, but what if I fail? I fail twice a week minimum.
Yeah.
You gonna take those F's. You gonna take them. But like, you can wallow in them or you can learn from them.
Yeah,
right.
true.
Like you can take your failure and you can fall down and you could never get off the porch again, or you can step back, take the learnings from it and get back out there and play. I'm using sports analogies just for you.
That's true. Thank you. I always say it's like, it's better to be like, your brain should be a sponge, and like you kind of absorb the information that's given around you and kind of absorb your mistakes. That way, you can grow better.
Oh yeah, you could say hand gesture.
You like that?
Better. Ooh. I like
that. Woo, woo. Yep. But no, that's really cool. Can you explain your T-shirt in the back? I kind of like it.
Oh, it says, we walk by faith, not by sight. And there's and that's 2 Corinthians 5 verses 7. So my uncle, who's my dad's brother, like my father died when I was rather young. And so my uncle has always been like, extra amazing to us. And so he died of skin cancer, I want to say 2 years ago. And like, as a family greeting, whenever we would see each other, he would say, we walk by faith. And then you respond, not by sight. So it was like this family greeting for years and years and years. And so I want to say I bought this shirt for him maybe like 10 years ago. And like, I saw it at a street fair or whatever, bought it for him. And after he passed, my aunt, we all met up in Savannah. My aunt handed it to me. And she was like, I just want you to have this. And then I was like, I don't know what to do with it, in the sense of I can't wear it. Like, it has so much meaning. And I hope that when the world opens back up, I hope to get like a really custom like light box for it. But
you should get one of those.
Yeah, like like some fancy stuff like you got. But like it describes entrepreneurship to a T.
Yeah.
That you got to walk by faith. Sometimes you don't see it. Like all the hard work, you're not seeing the payoff just yet. So like having faith that it is going to work out. And even when things go off the rails, when it goes off the rails, you can pull it back on. The point is not to quit, right? So that is like, I need to see it every day, that like sometimes it is a faith walk. It is this like believing in your vision and believing in yourself to get it over the line. Like I feel like since I've started my business, my confidence is next level. And
as you grow, you like you get more confident. You feel me?
Yeah, and
it works.
It works, like, because it's the little learnings. If you keep doing it, the more you become a proven entity, the more your confidence grows, and along with your confidence, so does your cash flow.
Let's talk about
charge
that.
More.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What was kind of like to the normal eye the littlest thing, but to you it felt like the biggest lesson? Like the littlest thing, it could have been simple as a client, suggested this, and now my business grew a little bit. What kind of
The biggest lesson for me was understanding that I am selling transformation. Right. So like, I think when I first got started, I think like my first client maybe paid me like $300. And I think I forgot to invoice her for the last installment. It was just
it's like, I ain't gonna say anything.
It was just like, it just like the taking money for a service sort of thing. And one of my first clients, first client forgot to invoice her, second client like paid up front way more money. And on the other side of her coaching sprint, she had started a profitable business and was already bringing in 6-figure revenue after 12 weeks of working with me. And I was like, I'm pricing this too low. This is too low. If my client, like I just wrapped up with a client in our 90-day sprint, had done $3 million in sales, had $6 million in the pipeline, and like all this other stuff in waiting, right?
Jesus.
In 90 days. And I'm priced too low.
And they started at zero? Or
well, like, she had kind of pivoted things. So like, I think she was at she was in the single digits millions in terms of revenue for her piece of the business. So we added on top of it, just getting consistent with how she did business development. And so like, it's one of those things where you're like, this stuff works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And as it continues to work, and it's really interesting, with the corporate workshops. Yeah, like I'm being choppered in by tier 1 organizations.
Mm-hmm.
So like that builds your confidence, and when you can say, no, actually I built this for Facebook,
mm-hmm.
then that brings you other clients.
That's
So
beast. Yeah.
So it is, yeah, the pricing things, understanding what's going on with the market, but also understanding like it is not a time money exchange,
Mm-hmm.
right? You are paying for my expertise, and it's taken me decades to build expertise.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're not paying for 4 hours of my time.
It's taking me mistakes. It's just like,
you are paying for my subject matter expertise. You're paying for like 40 years of information in a couple hours, right?
There you go. Yeah. That's cool. That's well, that kind of gives a story on you, so I'm glad. Thank you for talking about that. That's amazing.
Oh yeah. Well, like
I love to hear people's journeys, like, and like what they go through and how they differ and how they're the same. Like, that's amazing.
And I think that is, I think that one of the things that I'm most passionate about helping entrepreneurs with is getting real clear about that distance. I'm doing the hand gesture again. What's the shortest distance between you and the cash?
Yeah.
Because like, while you want to change the world, right, and you want to build all of these things, if you don't make no money, you have an eccentric hobby.
Ooh.
It's an eccentric hobby.
You've been dropping a lot of bars. You rap or something?
No, I talk trash. I do this all day. We write. Yeah. We got a video series. We got all kinds of stuff going on. But like, that is the conversation that I have. Like, okay, well, I actually have like a accountability circle. I'm like, how much money did you make this week?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear stories. What is in your account? What came in your account this week? Okay, so now we know what makes you money. How much of your time was spent on the things that make you money?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's real easy to be busy versus impactful.
Damn. See, that's another one. I'm writing that down.
Just write that down. Write that down. Write that down.
Yeah.
Like, get real clear about like, this is where the money comes from. Let me do more of that.
Yeah.
Because then you can grow. You can outsource things. You can invest in the shiny stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I had a couple entrepreneurs that are like, oh, I got to build this fancy website. Oh, I have to have a photo shoot. Oh, I got to do this. Oh, I got to do that. No, actually, you need to get a client first, and have that client pay for your fancy photo shoot, and that client pay for your fancy.
A lot of people do it backwards. Yeah, they're like, let me make everything look pretty so that when people walk in. Yeah.
And you know what? Unless you are actually a content creator that's being paid to create content, your website is a digital business card.
Mm-hmm.
It's just to prove that you're open.
To prove, you're in service. Yeah.
And so like, there's so many things that I learned the hard way that like, once we figured it out, it was like, oh, okay, let's do that.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. What are all the Post-it notes behind you?
Oh, these are my beautiful mind.
Okay.
So these are really interesting quotes that people have said. This one is my favorite this week. I am 100% responsible for my life, my success, my results, and my actions.
Facts.
I'm fearless. There was this one, empathize, explore, navigate, activate, innovate. This is a whole concept around shifting. When you are kind of in a negative headspace, you can ask yourself questions on whether, okay, how do I empathize in this situation? How do I explore? So yes, and navigate, what's the plan? Activate, what's next? And then innovate, like, yes, and how can we make it better? How can we make it better? And I think that, so much of entrepreneurship is a head game.
Yeah.
Because like, there's no one outside of my window right now with picket signs saying I can't have it. There's no one protesting my success. Yeah. And so like, I am the biggest problem, but I'm also the biggest solution. So I try to surround
another gym right there. Can you stop? I'm running out of room.
I'm
running out of room over here.
It's what I do all day. Get people fired up.
Yeah, for real. I see. Well, that's cool. Well, I mean, hey, that pretty much wraps it up. We're about to hit an hour, so that was great. Do you mind sharing your information? Oh, go ahead. What were you about to say?
Oh yeah. Well, how can I support you? What's the best way I can support you?
I mean, I don't know. So I got a lot of clothing back here. I do a lot of stuff as well. So I don't really have time. But I do find time to watch my little TV shows though.
I understand.
Yeah, you got to. I got a kid over here, so I got to watch something while he playing. You feel me? That's how dads watch the kids. They lay on.
Right, watch a movie.
Yeah, I rap, so you can always support by checking out my music. It's kind of like J. Cole type of flow. Okay. I don't know what kind of stuff you're in. I'm not like a mumble rapper. Don't worry. I get it.
But I say because that's outside of my age group.
I
understand the young people's music. That's how I knew I was getting old.
I rap about. I just released a song called "Give Me the Loot," so check that out. Give me the loot.
Right.
And then I have a clothing brand back here. There's a lot of different stuff, but I'm actually wearing this. My symbol. So
cool.
If you like music, it's kind of represents that music lasts forever. Yeah.
Oh, the infinity symbol. I see it. I see the vision. I see it.
So Till Infinity, for the music lovers right there. And then I got a bunch of different stuff. Like I got crop tops, joggers, track jackets, hoodies, obviously hats. And then I got like a lot of custom stuff that I do here. Like denim jackets, some vests. I'm into the vest now. Like a lot of people are
vest
digging.
Life.
Yeah. A lot of people are digging that. That's a great commercial. See, you're taking up my whole damn pad over here. But
live your best life.
yeah, facts. That's gonna be my Instagram caption when I do the campaign.
Yeah. Live your best life. Take it, man. Bring you joy, man. Bring you joy and money.
Man, that's free coaching right there. You feel me?
There you go. Boom. Dropped it. There you go. Awesome. Well, I will be sure to check all that out and make sure that when this goes live that we syndicate it on our channels. I think, I should drop where you can find me. You can find me at successbully.com. You can follow me on all the socials at successbully. And like I said, we're doing a 5 days of focus. So that is our sprint coming up August 3rd. We'll be teaching it live in our Facebook group. And it's all around getting clear about your goals and breaking it down into steps. So look for that August 3rd. And you can sign up for that at successbully.com/challenge. And the plane mic drop. There you go.
Bam. Do you have merch or no?
No, not at this time. We will be rolling out Success Bully journals and calendars at the start of 2021 if we get there.
Oh, that's fire. That's fire. I like that. Yeah. If we get there.
When we get there. If the zombie apocalypse doesn't take, that's the season finale is the zombies.
Yeah. Facts. Well, hey, Keita, I appreciate you joining today. I hope you have a blessed Sunday. And we're going to release this on Wednesday. We release it
Wednesday.
Yep. 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, yeah.
We'll add it to our content calendar this week. I'll have the team do that.
Hell yeah. Well, I appreciate it. You have a blessed Sunday.
Yes. And if you need anything, reach out. If you find yourself stuck, if you're having like a business challenge, just reach out and I'll try to make time to connect with you. Sound good?
Yeah, that would be amazing. Thank you.
All right. Absolutely. Take care.
You too.